have been several updates to the Jeffrey Epstein case, and of course, he is facing federal charges. He's facing charges pertaining to sex trafficking and the fact that he raped minors, underage girls. So the latest update has to do with his bail, which was rejected. We'll get to that in just a minute. But before we do so, remember, he was surrounded by several people in positions of power, and now his own personal lawyer is facing accusations that could get him in quite a bit of trouble. So 2 women claimed that they were forced by Epstein to have sex with Alan Dershowitz, who was his lawyer, while on the wealthy financier's private island in the Caribbean and at his New Mexico ranch. Now, he was asked about this during a recent interview, and his answer, in my opinion, didn't make the matter better. Take a look.
Does David Boies think he has on you?
Well, he has nothing, because I have him on tape admitting that his client was wrong, simply wrong, and that she couldn't have been in the places where she claimed to have sex with me. So why is he going after me? I have to tell you, I have a theory. I think he's projecting. David Boies has a terrible reputation for sexual activities, and I've issued a challenge to him. Look, I've had sex with 1 woman since the day I met Jeffrey Epstein. I challenged David Boies to say under oath that he's only had sex with 1 woman during that same period of time. He couldn't do it. So he has an enormous amount of chutzpah to attack me and to challenge my perfect sex life.
So Boies is the attorney for the women who are coming forward with the accusations. Who cares if he's had sex with multiple women? Like, the question is, first of all, like, the accusation is that Epstein forced these women to have sex with you, Alan Dershowitz. I don't care about the sex life of Boies. Like, he's not facing any allegations. You are.
Okay, so that's super relevant, but why are we even talking about that when the dude just said he has a perfect sex life?
Perfect, immaculate. Oh, I have such a great sex life, it's perfect. Let's go into detail on everyone's sex life in the room, and I'll say how mine is better than yours.
Just when you thought the Trump administration couldn't get any darker, we're now talking about Alan Dershowitz's sex life. It doesn't get any darker than that.
They couldn't have been a place to have sex with me, because that would have to be around my junk, which is disgusting.
Yeah, when he says I've only had sex with 1 woman, are we sure he's talking about his wife?
Can we stop talking about him having sex? Like, I mean, I know that there's the allegations. I know, it's disgusting. I don't want to think about it.
What a weird position. Just take a moment. Hashtag 2019. This is your life, everyone. You're in a world where the president and also someone who's connected to literally every huge figure in American politics and media, this guy Epstein was around them all. Now I'm hearing about OJ's lawyer's sex life, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's the thing. David Boies is a really well-respected attorney. He is part of Bush v. Gore. He's been part of some landmark cases. He's a real attorney. Dershowitz, well, okay, I'll say it. He's a media whore. And so he wound up at Harvard Law because he loves the spotlight, like a certain president that he loves to compliment on Fox News. So all he's ever done is defend dirtbags like O.J. Simpson and Donald Trump. And so I get it, he's a lawyer, but he's not a court-appointed lawyer. He does it for money and fame. So if he said, hey, look, you know what? I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna defend these guys that no one else will defend. Okay, fine, that's one thing. No, he does it for glory in his own mind, etc. So am I overly surprised that he's entangled in the Epstein affair? No, I'm not surprised. So I don't know who's telling the truth there, but you know how we find out, Alan, in this country? We go to court.
Right, so the women are actually suing him for defamation. I could understand why, because he publicly defames them. So we'll see how that case develops. But I do hope that through the court case involving Epstein, we get a better sense. I mean, remember, there was a raid of that Manhattan mansion, and who knows what they found. We don't know all the details, but we do have some of the details of what FBI agents found when they conducted that raid, and that actually led to the decision the judge made in regard to bail. Now, Epstein's bail was rejected, and before I get to the details, let me just say that Epstein and his attorney offered $100 million Like, I will pay anything, $100 million. I just don't want to go to jail as I await my court case. And luckily, the judge said no. During a brief court hearing, Manhattan US District Court Judge Richard Berman called the bail proposal submitted by Epstein's defense team irretrievably inadequate.
I love that.
I know. And said the safety
like
of
Alan Dershowitz sex life.
and said the safety of the community and individuals was his primary concern. Quote, I don't think any bail package overcomes the danger to others, Berman said. Now, what did they find when they raided that Manhattan apartment? They found how much money? $71,000?
It was like $71,000 in cash in a safe that also had like 83 loose diamonds and a fake passport to Austria.
So a little bit of a flight risk.
And when asked, his defense was like, yeah, well, in the 80s, I was this rich guy going to the Middle East a lot. I didn't want terrorists to stalk me, so I used like a fake. It's like you're admitting to having a fake passport, and also we found it, but like your reason is sketchy.
And also in the 80s, really, we're in 2019.
Yeah.
Oh, I just happened to leave it in that safe in a house that I didn't even own back then.
It's so weird.
Well, I mean, passports expire, right? So if it's a passport that he was using in the 80s,
but if it's a fake passport, what do you take it to your guy to renew it?
Well, that's
I took it to Kinko's.
No, but think about how in his world, that's an acceptable excuse for having a fake passport. If anyone else gets caught with a fake passport, you're in a lot of trouble. So his excuse is, I'm a very wealthy man. You know, like, of course I have a fake passport. I do it for my own protection.
Yeah,
it's a good enough excuse for him.
He owns an island in the Caribbean, so he could run away to his own island with his fake passport. There has never been a more clear case of a flight risk than Jeffrey Epstein. He's facing life in prison, and now that with all this publicity around him, all the prosecutors are gonna be tough on him. Otherwise, their careers are in trouble, which is the reverse of last time. If they were tough on him last time, their careers would have been in trouble because nobody was paying attention.
Right.
So of course he's gonna make a run for it. Dershowitz went on Fox later and said, I have only had one passport.
And it is perfect.
It's the best.
I've had sex with it. Only one passport since that. Just to your point, one extra development is that Epstein's work release in Florida that whole time is under investigation now, like an internal investigation.
Yeah, because when he had that work release, and keep in mind, he wanted to get bail so he could spend time in his Manhattan mansion, right? Now that factored into the decision making for the judge because the work release that he had previously gotten essentially allowed him to continue some of his activities, illegal activities. Let's keep it real with these underage girls. With these girls, you don't even have to say underage. They're girls. They're children.
Yeah, now Acosta, who was the labor secretary under Trump, says, well, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have called them prostitutes since they were the victims, since they were underage. But I had to do a plea deal where he basically got off, so I had to call them prostitutes so that we could call it solicitation of prostitution. And now the sheriff's department is investigating because not only did they let him out for 12 hours a day as previously reported, as Anna just told you, they let him go back to his home, which was not part of the deal at all. And then they acted as private security for him, outrageous. And then they let women come in and do whatever was gonna happen over there. It's maddening how there's two different justice systems in this country. And if you're incredibly rich and a total dirtbag, there is one guy who will step up for you, and that's Alan Dershowitz. So I forgot to list his dirtbag clients, not only O.J. Simpson, Donald Trump, or Trump he does for free. He's like, please make me your lawyer, Donald Trump. Also, Epstein, he was Epstein's lawyer, let alone all the other people that he's represented in the past for glory and fame. So no good guys in this story at all. Thanks for watching this free clip of the Young Turks. Don't forget to become a TYT member today. For more exclusive content, join now at tyt.com/join.